Hello, everyone. Wish you a very, very happy Wednesday. I hope you have been doing well. And I'm always excited, as you know, to be able to share this space together. It always just fills my heart that I get to do this. I never take it lightly. Hello, everyone. I always understand that this is a privilege and an honor for me to be able to present anything to you. So thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you so much. Um, so today I am going to be talking about alopecia. So many people have heard about it, but not many know about it. So alopecia is a condition where spots of hair is lost, but not just in the scalp. Some people may actually lose it even on their body and eyelashes or even eyebrows. And it's very interesting that there is another one that most of you may not have heard of, which is called as alopecia totalis, which means that hair everywhere is lost. So obviously, it's something that can be very difficult for the person that's dealing with. So that's the reason why we kind of want to bring in this new year. Oh, first of all, Happy New Year. So, bring in this new year a lot of these conditions that seem to be very hard for most people. And a lot of people think that they have to live with this. And those are the kinds of topics that we're going to be bringing in this year, things that you could do, the things that you don't have to live with, things that can actually give you hope because it truly is something that you can heal from. So if you or your loved one is suffering from any autoimmune conditions, know that this is not something that you have to deal with for the rest of your life. And this is something that you can actually get treated for and even reverse this problem. So the first time I saw a patient with alopecia was in the very beginning of my career or my practice, and I saw this kid that I used to be seeing for seizures, and her sister started developing alopecia, and she was only a teenage kid. And this is the thing: a lot of people think that this is something that maybe only people at a certain age develop and all that, and that's not true. Um, Even just this past Saturday, we posted a video of a child who's only 7 years old who developed alopecia. So it can affect any age group. And so this was a teenage girl who actually developed alopecia, and the parents didn't even know what it was called. They were just shocked that she was just losing hair on spots. And since the sister was already being treated, they just brought her and asked whether I could do anything about it. And to be honest, I knew that it can be treated because I've seen that during my residency, but I had personally never treated it at that time, and this was like maybe 2003, four times. And so I said, I can't guarantee you because I don't know. I have never treated this before, but I know that it can be done because it's just another autoimmune condition. If you can treat other things, you should be able to treat this. But I said, I can't guarantee you, but obviously the only other option is doing steroid shots on the scalp and hoping that the body treats itself and heals itself. So we kind of did that, and I started treating that child or the little girl, and we were able to reverse the alopecia. But eventually, of course, in so many years, I've actually dealt with so many patients with alopecia and have been very, very successful at it. And the interesting thing about it is that I, until recently, never really thought of taking pictures of before and after. I mean, I've been in practice for 17 years. You think I would have learned something. So, obviously, not this. But I just started recently doing that, where we take pictures when the patient comes in with any skin conditions or alopecia or any of the other things that is visible or lichen planus and so on and so forth. And then we actually take pictures as they progress. And it's been very interesting because obviously pictures speak louder than words. And instead of just saying something, when we actually show you that it is doable, it obviously instills hope in other people. And that's exactly what I tend to do with this. So, and right now I actually am treating another patient with hypothyroidism who has alopecia as well. And she had four spots on her head with, which were big. And now there's just one little spot, and that's about it. Everything else completely got covered up. So, in my practice, from my experience, I can tell you what are the things that most commonly cause this issue. If you have any autoimmune condition, other autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis or Hashimoto's, these things can be a predisposing factor for alopecia. So it's always important if you have an autoimmune condition that you don't just manage them with drugs, but you truly go to a naturopath, a health professional who can really help you reverse it, not just manage it for the rest of your life. Because any autoimmune condition predisposes you to another autoimmune condition, which means that the body is, literally trying very, very desperately to heal the body, but it's impossible to do for it. And it just keeps going from one organ to another. So it's always a good idea to seek a professional who knows what they are doing, who has done this for a little while, and get their help while doing it rather than doing it alone or just manage them with drugs. So that being said, most common things that I have seen for alopecia are unhealthy diet, toxins. Another factor that I often talk about that we don't really detoxify our bodies anymore as much. We just keep putting things in there and we hope and pray that it'll automatically take care of itself. But that's just not the case. Especially in the day and age we live, it's not always going to be possible, and it's not always possible for everyone, because some of us have a genetic predisposition to certain mutations in the gene that could contribute to you not being able to detoxify properly. If you don't detoxify properly, then the toxic buildup can be detrimental to your health in so many different levels. So you will need to see a professional to address those aspects of it. But in general, it's a good idea for everyone to detoxify from time to time using diet, using infrared, full spectrum infrared sauna, herbs. I've done a Facebook Live before this with how to detoxify using herbs. So you can go and watch that. It's under the video section on our Facebook page. So that's something that is always available to you to do, so that you can actually start doing that. Iodine deficiency is another factor. I've actually seen in that 7-year-old child that she got the flu vaccine and then she developed alopecia. So it's not necessarily that, it has to be only this, this, and this. There could be some factors that usually don't, or they are not associated with it, but can contribute to it. Because in what I do, timeline is very, very important. I don't really believe in the concept of something just happening, as mostly conventional medicine suggests that something just happens, there's no real cause, we don't know, and we can't say. That's not the case. Whenever we do the detailed case taking, which is what we do always, we draw a timeline and we try to figure out when something happened and why something happened and how that could have contributed to the current problem that they're having, even if it started years and years ago. So, if you are going to somebody like me, I would always suggest that you think about it and draw a timeline yourself if you're suffering from anything as to what started it, why it started. Kind of, take some time before you go in and write down all of these details, because it'll be very, very helpful for someone who's trying to reverse a problem, not for someone who's managing a problem. But if you need to heal completely, then these are things that are very important to understand the root cause rather than trying to fix the leaf of a plant. Root is where the problem is mostly. Um, so other autoimmune conditions, as I said before, is also another cause. So what can you do if you have alopecia or you know somebody? One, you can actually share this video so they know that there is hope, and that's the most important thing. A lot of people don't really know how to get this treated because they just hear that there is no cure. And over and over and over again, people actually hear this about many different things. Even today, I saw a patient with Crohn's, and this child was told that she'll have to be on medication for the rest of her life, and just managed. And how terrible, because we treat Crohn's on a regular basis and very successfully at it, that we have reversed cases. There is no management here. And we have reversed rheumatoid arthritis, we have reversed psoriasis. I mean, so many conditions have been reversed, hypothyroidism and so on and so forth. Not just put a band-aid on it, but we need to change this dialogue that we are having, and we need to instill hope in people, because the human body, as I've always said, is miraculous. It is capable of so much only if we allow the body to heal. If you only know the way to heal the body, once you actually identify those kinds of things, it's very easy to heal. I'm not saying that it's simple, it's immediate, but I'm saying it is easy if we follow the nature's laws. So things may take some time, but it is doable. And if you know someone who is having that, tell them to actually contact someone like me. The reason why is I have a patient who had alopecia areata, which is like, those spots where they lose hair, um, 30 years ago. And she believed that nothing can be done. And so she just, gave in and just gave up pretty much. And 30 years later, now I treat her for other things, but I don't think I can actually treat her anymore for alopecia totalis. She has alopecia totalis now, like she has no hair. And that is not going to be something that I can help her now with, because the hair follicles have completely died and have been pretty much like, eliminated. So there is really nothing that we can do to bring it back up. So it's always important to get treatment quickly rather than take forever and wait and wait and wait and then do it. So that's one of the things that's very important to note. The other things that you can tell them to do, or ask them, and if you're one, you can actually do is add sea vegetables into your diet. Iodine deficiency can contribute to alopecia, so adding sea vegetables can be a really good source of iodine. So that's one thing that you can do. And also, if you're drinking tap water, please stop. Not just for alopecia, just if you're drinking tap water, just please stop. Don't give your children tap water. Don't drink tap water. It is really detrimental for your health. And if there is one thing that you can do today, even if you don't have the money, start saving up money. Put like $2 away a day until you have enough money to take care of the water system in your house. It doesn't have to be a whole house water system. It just needs to be a reverse osmosis system in the kitchen. And that will be very, very helpful, because it actually removes so many contaminants from the water, which is going to be beneficial for the body so that it doesn't contribute to more toxins. And then, of course, eating a good diet is very helpful as well in any autoimmune conditions. A diet that's plentiful with vegetables and fruits and greens, a lot of foliage will be very helpful. Make sure you're getting plenty of sun exposure without sunscreen. This is important. To get sun, the vitamin D, it's essential that we actually go out and be in the sun at least for 45 minutes if you're brown skinned, or darker. If you're the darker you are, the longer you need to be staying in the sun to get enough vitamin D absorption, because darker skin naturally has protection from the sun rays, which means we don't absorb as much of it. So if you're white, Caucasian, then you would actually need to at least be in the sun for 30 minutes. And I know that now that it's cold, at least once we get into the summer and the spring, make sure that you're actually getting out there at least for a certain period of time every single day and get enough sun. This is another thing that you can do to prevent autoimmune diseases. So many things, simple things that we can do to make sure we don't go into the path of having diseases and treating them. Also, we talked about detoxification. That's very, very important as well. So if you haven't started doing it, this is a good time. Again, that's the way to prevent a disease. Detoxification and a good diet, and having enough sun exposure, drinking clean water. These are all the building blocks for health. So if you want to be healthy, do these kinds of things. If you are not healthy, then start with these kinds of things and build more to it, and then contact a professional who can help you. So I hope I shared some information that's valuable for you, and maybe for other people that may have this issue. And we'll be talking soon about other topics. So I really thank you for joining me. If you do have any questions, feel free to put it in the comment, and I would be able to see it and answer it. All right, since we have no questions here, thank you so much for joining me. Have a fantastic rest of the Wednesday, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.